the first challenge is really going to be enrollment, and then obviously retention, I think,
Hmm.
becomes really important. So if you step back, the ability to actually have the breadth of patients that we do obviously matters. But as you sort of think through really the workflow and the specific needs and problems you're trying to solve, first challenge obviously is recruiting patients, right? You have to be able to inform them, educate them, curate, the right trials. But in many cases, it might be sending them to a site you don't run, right? So a lot of our early work with sponsors and others has been, being able to identify the right trials, even if we're not the sites. And I think there's a lot of opportunity within the industry, to probably raise the bar about how those handoffs really happen, from a centralized kind of recruiting effort up through either the individual site, whether that be our physician or MSO or kind of our academic partners, that are really doing this kind of work itself. I think the second obviously is enrollment specifically, right? So if you kind of think through that next challenge, and it really builds off the point that you really just made, how do you actually get patients into the CVS sites, of which we have 80, built now across, 14 states. Early data, I think what we're seeing is patients are about 2.5 to 3 times more likely to enroll if we reach out to them and offer them an opportunity to participate at a CVS location versus handing them off to another site.
Mm.
And again, I think that should probably be expected. One, because I think handoffs generally in the industry, there's room for improvement. But then the second is people do have more familiarity with their local CVS, with their local pharmacy, and the ability to actually build access points in the community is what starts to really remove some of the barriers that traditionally I think would make it harder for patients to participate. So how do we do that? One, I think, is through home research nursing. So we actually have about 800 nurses. We've supported over 200 studies by bringing nurses directly into the home for certain and specific visits. The second is the CVS sites themselves. We've been working with our Minute Clinic model, right? So we have about 1,100 local clinics, and about 80 of them we've been able to open up as full research sites. So the patient could get seen in the home, or they really could get seen, obviously, in their location. The third is really the PI network. We built an ability to work with existing PIs at some of our academic and health system partners, but also have built our own PI network as well, which really gives you the ability to kind of run, I think, a full end-to-end study. And you knit it together, I think, with technology, right? So it is a tech-enabled service business, meaning technology partners like Medable or CTMS partners that we've announced give us the ability, I think, to start to provide a more integrated patient experience and meet some of the patient expectations as they really, I think, start to kind of evolve over time. So if you're going to do, again, retention well, ultimately you have to be able to do enrollment well. You have to have really built a model centered around kind of meeting those patient needs and systematically removing barriers, right? That I think can prevent patients really from participating. Last thing I'd say, and this has been a build for us, obviously we're broadly distributed throughout the United States, right? Patients live very close to a lot of our sites. We have a really diverse staff, but I think a challenge we've given ourselves within CTS as well is ensuring as we hire CRCs and our nurse practitioners who serve as sub-Is, to really ensure we hire staff that represent the communities that we operate in. I think it's really important for members, and the SysGroup data and others, I think, have consistently shown this, that the local practitioners you have are from the community and represent the communities you operate in.